For years, I thought buying coffee meant walking into a supermarket, grabbing the first bag that looked nice, and heading to the checkout. I never even knew coffee roasters even existed. But recently, I bought my very first bag of freshly roasted coffee beans from a local roaster. And I don't think I'll ever buy coffee the same way again. Today, I want to show you why, not as a coffee expert, but as someone who only discovered this world a few weeks ago. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Coffee Hobbyist. If you have been following this series, you'll know that I've recently switched from instant coffee to coffee beans. I've bought my first coffee machine, I've compared instant coffee to freshly brewed coffee, and now I'm descending one step further into the world of coffee beans, and that is buying coffee directly from a local roaster. First thing I noticed, it wasn't the logo or the origin or the tasting notes. It was this little date printed on the bag. Roasted on. Not best before. Roasted on. I remember staring at it thinking, wait, coffee has a birthday? I'd honestly never paid attention before. Every bag I bought from the supermarket only told me when the coffee would expire. But this bag was exactly telling me when it had been roasted. That was my first clue that this was going to be different. Then I opened the bag and I actually stopped talking. I wasn't even making coffee yet. I just stood there, smelling it. The aroma evoked a smell I had never experienced with coffee. It smelled sweet, nutty, chocolatey, almost fruity. It didn't smell like coffee. It smelled alive. That's the only way I can describe it. And I remember asking myself, how have I been missing this my whole life? Now, I want to be clear. I'm not saying supermarket coffee is bad. I drank it for years and it served me well. But now I understand why James Hoffman, the UK coffee guru, recommends buying from a local roaster. Local roasters usually roast coffee in smaller batches. That means the beans often reach you only days after roasting. Instead of months, fresh beans keep more of their natural aromas and flavors, and you can actually taste that difference. One thing that surprised me was how much information came with the bag. The country, the farm, the altitude, the processing methods, the tasting notes. At first, it felt overwhelming, but then I realized someone actually cared enough to tell me the story behind my coffee. That made me appreciate every cup even more. Another thing I didn't expect was how passionate the people were. When I visited the roaster, they weren't trying to sell me the most expensive bag. They asked me questions. What kind of coffee do you usually drink? Do you like milk drinks? Do you prefer something fruity or chocolatey? It felt less like shopping and more like getting a recommendation from a friend. That's something I have never experienced buying a coffee from a supermarket shelf. I mean, in the supermarket, it's a self-service, whereas at a roaster, you're chauffeured around, offered to taste test what adjusts to your palate, and then make the purchase. There's also something satisfying about supporting local businesses, knowing that your coffee was roasted just days ago by people who genuinely love what they do. Makes every cup feel a little more meaningful. You're not just buying coffee, you're supporting craftsmanship. This single bag of coffee taught me something unexpected. Coffee isn't just about caffeine, it's about freshness, craft, people, stories, and curiosity. I still have so much to learn, but buying from a local roaster made me realize that coffee can be a hobby, not just a habit. So, why buy coffee from local roasters? For me, it comes down to four things: freshness, better flavors, learning, and supporting people who genuinely care about coffee. Will I still drink supermarket coffee sometimes? Probably. But whenever I want coffee that feels special, I'll be visiting my local roaster. If you have never bought coffee from a local roaster, here's my challenge. The next time you need coffee, skip the supermarket. Find a local roaster. Buy the smallest bag they have, take it home. Open the bag, smell it. Then come back to this video and tell me if you have had the same reaction I did. I genuinely love to know. If you have enjoyed coming along on my coffee journey, don't forget to subscribe. Next week, we are diving into one of the biggest questions every beginner has. Arabica versus Robusta. And trust me, I was far more confused than I expected. Until next time, stay caffeinated, stay curious.